Welcome to game number one here, back on the Rift, back on Style Esports, back with All Out Potato. It is time, and back with TDS Academy. It's time for another best of three tonight, Potato.
It is time. It is time. And I love TDS Academy. Last time we saw them, they just played with a lot of creativity and confidence. And you love to see that at this level of play. So I'm hoping they're going to continue that trend today, put on some more strong performances, and we'll also get to see Clemson Orange out here for the first time.
The Clemson Orange? I thought it was Clemson Purple they're playing, but maybe I got that wrong. I got to double check who, in fact, they're playing against. It is one of the Clemson teams. This is South Carolina's esports organization with a couple of teams representing that purple and orange. They're going to be hitting the Rift this evening as well. But, I thought they were playing against Clemson or Purple this evening. But I'll have to double check that because maybe it's the other half of that squad that's going to be hitting the Rift tonight.
Maybe. I'm going off the draft flow here, so the teams can be into me a little bit. But yeah, we'll just have to see as the picks come out. We got Maokai 1P, a classic.
Classic. I'm still not surprised that that's kind of in the pickup here. We are on a new mini patch, I guess you could call it, 13.1B. So there is a little few changes here. Maokai not one of those champions that was really adjusted at all on this patch, but one of the big changes we're going to be seeing is actually the new Infinity Edge and some of those ADC items actually have been kind of adapted here now live on this new patch.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm hoping we're going to be seeing some of the new builds tonight. Now, Varus, I'm not sure will be one of those champions that might utilize that new build path too effectively, but Caitlyn, I think, certainly a champion that will very much enjoy this IE second build path. So we'll see if she opts to go that way tonight.
Yeah, and I do stand corrected already. Maokai actually did receive a few kind of nerfs on this most recent 13.1B patch notes. Looks like just about 20 damage from the bonus damage to monsters on the Bramble Smash, and a little bit of hit to some of the sapling toss damage as well. Both some of those key abilities from Maokai. Otherwise, just a little bit of that damage decreasing just to tone down a little bit of his current jungle power, but still dominating the Rift and still dominating this draft already.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see what looks to be jungle and bot lane now selected for both teams. So both teams opting to leave their solo laners for the second half of the draft. And this bot lane matchup is already looking pretty interesting. A lot of trading potentially going on with this kind of champion set.
Yeah, there is lots of trading in the bot lane. The Lucian was available, but instead, Nami paired with the Varus for TDS Academy in this matchup. Clemson Orange locking in the very straight and standard Caitlyn Lux matchup. That is one of the longest range matchups in the bot lane and can get so much just lockdown CC. If you can land a trap, a binding, you can do so much damage onto either of these squishy members from TDS Academy in the bot lane. We'll have to see if they can play this lane out and get that early push and early control that this lane is known to get at the highest levels.
Yeah, absolutely. The lockdown is potent, but so is the push. The lane pressure from this duo, especially if left isolated, is insufferable for many champions that they can end up facing. Excellent push and poke from both of these champions can threaten tower plates, can get you out under tower. So there is someone with range to answer that. Nami maybe with a little bit of sustained 12. We'll see how they play the matchup on both sides as second half picks start to come out.
Yeah, you're right. And those solo lanes, like you mentioned, both teams yet to show their solo lanes. TDS Academy, Locke and Victor as their fourth pick here, but lots of mid laners taken away. And Clemson Orange, their response is going to be a Yasuo choice.
Yeah, a little bit of spice here. Victor, one of those nice scaling mages, can usually offer some decent safety as long as it's not into a high pressure mid jungle combination. But Yasuo is certainly going to be taking the fight to Victor, I imagine.
Yeah, and Bulldog, last time we saw this TDS Academy squad, Bulldog actually pulled out back to, or actually a Rise game and a Cassidon game on the Rift, but was leaning against Spaxy's Victor in both games. And so maybe after those matchups, TDS Academy said, wait, that Victor, that's even pretty good. Maybe we want to play some of that too. We Strike First went down 0-2 last time, so TDS is coming off of an undefeated week last week, and we'll have to see if Clemson Orange with this last last pick, Ornn, and the draft now completed for both sides, will be able to hand it to TDS Academy in this first matchup.
Yeah, Olaf here to round out the draft, and I like this pick. Olaf is one of those champions that, if allowed to get ahead, can absolutely take over an entire game, Tim style even maybe. And there's a
Oh,
lot of lockdown that can be ignored over on the side of Clemson, so we'll see how much of an impact this pick can have.
there really is, and this is a new, or this is not something new at all for Izumo. Izumo last time, again, when we were just watching their matchup here, I mean, this guy went 16-4 on the Olaf matchup, and that was into Festif's Gnar again on We Strike First. And so this was like a range disadvantage, but just took over that game, and there was no way for We Strike First to deal with them. Clemson Orange, I mean, they have the CC, and I was alluding that in the bot lane, but Olaf's got that button that's going to just stop any kind of CC landing onto that player, and it might make it a little more challenging for Clemson Orange to kite out this big. What is he? Kind of some kind of Viking potentially there, it looks like, on that Olaf at the
Yeah,
top
yeah,
lane and
the
see him do it again.
Berserker, Yeah, and he's got 3 melee champions to hit to extend his Ragnarok, 2 immobile ranged characters to try and run down with his move speed advantage. So certainly can come to become a very scary threat for
Fear
them.
controls them.
Yeah, it definitely could be. And this is a very scary team, TDS Academy Potato. Like, we have seen what they can do with their advantages. We have seen players have some amazing performances. Raven, another star player in this bot lane, the marksman for TDS Academy. So much success. That pairing with Blazeheart has found, I mean, it was game one, Blazeheart's Blitzcrank that we saw absolutely dominate the Rift. And this bot lane can have so much potential, and it just feels like all of these members across the Rift for TDS Academy are known as really strong players. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Clemson Orange might have done some of their homework, or what lanes they're going to be targeting here, because they're going to be playing against some fierce competition here in this matchup.
Yeah, and my focus here looks to be at the bot lane. Caitlyn Lux is a lane that I think in isolation should get the advantage into Varus Nami. I think that their poke and push just can't be matched by the enemy champions there. So if we can get some jungle attention down there to get this duo ahead, get the plates start to fall, get some rotations going, pick up more tower plates around the map, that can really lead to a snowball effect. And maybe we'll get to see some of that come out in this match.
Yeah, you're right about some of the snowballing across the board, and one of the players that I got my eyes on here is going to be What the Fatch, mid lane Yasuo for Clemson Purple. This was a pick that they did pick it into Victor, so it is a counter matchup, but as a very high skill expression champion, got some other knockups to get that ultimate off with Ornn and Maokai. But you know, if you're picking a counter matchup and feels a little bit of an ego potentially, Potato, I gotta see what this guy can do on the Win Brother.
Yeah, and I love me some ego in these amateur leagues. I think it's really fun to see some spicier picks, some personal signature picks come out. So if What the Fash can deliver, I'm here all for it.
Yeah, we will have to see if Clemson Purple can deliver in this first best of three that we're watching of them, or if TDS is going to hang on to the Style Esports casting 2-0 success and continue that wave here in Style. But we're just about to get into a short 3-minute spectator delay, but the prediction is live on who will win game number one. So vote with your channel points. Let us know who you think is going to take this first game in this best of three series this evening. Is it going to be Clemson Purple? Or is it going to be TDS Academy? In just a moment, we're going to have to find out when we hit the Rift. We are on to the and Clemson purple. My name is Llama. Alongside me today is All Out Potato, and this is going to be a best of three this evening. Both teams starting out in a very standard 5 point.
Yeah, I thought we might had a chance of seeing someone come in and invade on this level one. I mean, on the side of TDS, you have Olaf and Amumu, two of the strongest level one champions, and you also have a Lux Bind on the opposing side as well. But both teams opting for the safe option. Maokai just putting a River Ward down, going to go back and start with a very nice and calm clear.
And sometimes the nice and calm clear is kind of what's needed here. I do expect to see some bot lane action. Hopefully, Indelible Six can put some pressure into this Caitlyn Lux lane. Charlie the Mulder and Way Too Big are going to be the opponents today for Raven and Blazeheart on the opposite side here. And Caitlyn Lux, I mean, Potato, we were just talking about on the break there. This duo, like they can absolutely dominate a lane if it's played well.
Yeah, that they can, but jungle pressure can certainly change that around very quickly. And it looks like this Varus Nami want to play a little bit aggressive. We see Nami taking the electrocute in this lane, which she will have to proc herself, but maybe signaling that they want to play quite a bit up.
Yeah, that might be the case as well. I know Electrocute used to be the OP combo when you paired it with the Lucian and getting the extra damage from just placing the E from Nami onto that champion. But in this kind of context, I mean, you can use some of Nami's abilities to get those Electrocute procs, and it does work with the autos. So if the Ebb and Flow can get a bounce and maybe a land, a bubble, and an auto attack can still be at pretty high damage here. Speaking of high damage, top lane's not afraid to trade early.
They are not. They are out here ready to scuffle with each other. Olaf and Ornn going at it,
Ooh.
not scared. But
Oh my
here is the
gosh.
binding landing on, and there we see already the potency of Caitlyn Lux. A quick first blood onto Blazeheart.
And that's all it took, Potato. Just the one binding and took Blazeheart from 100 to 0. As you said, this is the potency of this lane. Zero summoner spells committed. Way too big, not even needing the ignite and already sending Blazeheart to the gray screen.
Yeah, there's just so much damage coming out off of any CC. It is going to be both champions
Oh,
full kits as another one lands. And these Caitlyn Qs, when they are not buffered by minions, sting so much in these early game scenarios. Already the heal committed out from Raven to keep himself alive here.
yeah, but Raven already using that heal defensively just to stay under tower. This was a lane that was blind picked as well. They took the Varus early on in this draft, and Caitlyn Lux showing why it is such a top tier response to the early kind of poke lane that the Varus can provide. I mean, already getting shoved in, getting a wave advantage, and now both Indelible Six and Linux happen to be topside. It's 2v2.
Yeah, but they're fighting this 2v2 into early Olaf. There's the Ghost committed already, and a great flash bandage toss is going to start the CC chain. They're both so low, but can they finish it? The tower is going, but does not turn on to Indelible 6. Both teams walking away on critically low HP.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that both of these players, all four players actually, living to tell the tale from the top lane. Indelible Six taking no time off, already looking for Yasuo mid.
Yeah, and the wind wall is down, so this will come down to the accuracy. Their first bandage toss does not hit, and that's probably going to be the end of the play, now pathing down for the second scuttle.
Yeah, and now the second scuttle for Indelible Six. Both of these scuttle spawns going their way. We know Indelible Six can find so many opportunities on the map, and even though the ganks aren't landing, the CS and the sequencing is already onto that second rotation and is up already at camp just from that extra scuttle crab over top of Linux in the jungle.
Yeah, but the bigger difference is going to be here in the bottom lane. Caitlyn up over 10 CS with a wave coming in as well. And this is the domination that I want to be seeing out of this lane. I love that they played aggressive early, knowing that both junglers started bot side and were going to be clearing up. I want to see them continue to pressure, continue to aim for plates, continue to push the CS lead.
Watch the Fatch does miss the tornado in the mid lane and lets Bulldog trade aggressively back on to them. And now Indelible 6 is back in the area, and what the Fatch already now has level 6. Will they be looking for it?
Yeah, Victor low on mana too. What the
Oh,
Fatch thinking about it, but does suss out the Amumu. Their bandage shots narrowly missing. Linux coming on the side, looking for a cover. Everyone is going to know where the junglers are, and the bot lane is moving early here. Raven and Blazeheart trying to join from the river, doesn't see that the play is over, and is going to head back into lane.
yeah, but critically, the only buy on the map so far is from Linux. Already has that blasting wand from that first full clear. Indelible 6 is not even level 5 yet, does not have a buy, is just sitting on just the Moss Stomper here from the jungle. So there's so little damage, and it looks like now, just trying to help out the mid laner, get a crash and get a reset. We'll see if what the Fatch wants to try to freeze this lane, because this is a great way to play the lane as a melee versus ranged matchup. But instead, because they recognize that Bulldog wants to get the shove and reset, what the Fatch is just going to crash, take a reset of their own, and then force the teleport from Bulldog to catch the crashing wave mid.
Yeah, so difficult to stay in lane there with such little mana. And we were talking about the bot lane CS difference, but take a look in the mid lane. Yasuo here absolutely destroying Victor in the early farm right now. The pressure is really paying off.
Yeah, that one kill and the extra CS, nearly 1,000 gold already in advantage of Clemson Purple. Not giving this early game over without anything to say about it here. So well done from Clemson Purple in this early game across the map. Zumo not able to get any success top. Linux so patient down here. Now he goes.
Yeah, has sat in that bush for what looks like a minute. A bit of disjointedness there as the Q from the Maokai is going to knock Nami out of the Lux binding, allowing for the flash to safety there. A very narrowly missed kill off of a slight mistiming on the CC chain there, but it is still going to be the summoner gained.
There is a summoner gained but traded. Charlie the Mulder wanted it, and he might be malding just a little bit there, not having the flash available now for 5 minutes for the marksman. I mean, after that, everyone living, the ADC flash for the support flash is actually a net advantage for TDS Academy because your marksman still has the summoner spell. So if they can lock down Charlie, that is the disadvantage of this Caitlyn Lux is the mobility. Without the key flash, this CC lockdown from a Mumu, if they can land a bandage toss, if you can get the chains of corruption onto the correct target, hit Charlie the Mulder with it, that's going to be a sitting duck, and that sniper's not going to be able to get any damage down if they can just get the crowd control without the flash timer.
Yeah, and level 6 is the point at which Varus Nami have the option for a play. A nice bubble landing onto the Lux there, but Varus does not want it, trying to aim the Caitlyn instead. Maybe a bit of a missed opportunity there. Nami
What the
trying to set up
flash?
the play, but here comes what the Fatch is ready to chase down these members. Raven desperately running a
Oh,
great bubble, but an even better wind wall is going to block it. Tornado narrowly misses. Indelible trying to save it, but the Lux ultimate coming through. Final spark is going to be the final breath that Raven's going to take in this
and
bot lane.
yeah, the final spark gets the kill. Last breath stays up, but it was Raven's last breath. The ace in the hole picks up another.
And it's enough damage to Blazeheart also going down. This is a bot lane Armageddon on the map right now in this early game. Caitlyn Lux sitting pretty with their early advantage.
Have we talked about how strong this bot lane is yet, Potato? Like, oh my gosh, we named it so many times and we wanted to see the early advantage, but look at that CS, nearly doubled for Charlie the Mulder in the bot lane. I thought we might have seen a window for TDS Academy to punish the Flash not being there, but instead another couple kills in their pocket, the CS massive, and this bot lane gap is absolutely blown open, not even 10 minutes into this first game.
Yeah, and it's just really difficult for Varus and Nami to play into this lane. They don't have the range to try and contest, although it looks like right now Azuma wants it onto Alexa,
Wasn't a
but
flash.
we do see Lennox's ultimate coming through. The Ghost is going to be burned from the Olaf, but still left in a very vulnerable position. That is going to be Alexa play Yeet, taking down Izumo in the top lane, getting back some much needed gold as Izumo is a bit of a shining light until this point, up for TDS, up about 20 farm onto this Ornn.
And this is also give Linux the opportunity to move on to that first Rift Herald as well. Indelible 6 going for a recall, so they get the kill. Izumo takes an uncharacteristic death in the top lane after the Ragnarok had expired. And now, already, not only is it a bot lane advantage, but the top side of the map also winning in this early game for Clemson Purple.
That it is, but look at this Lux poke down here in the bot lane. Just absolute chunks of damage whenever one of those E's lands, and it is so difficult for these champions to dodge that. And with the jungler on the top side, it's probably going to be Caitlyn Lux continuing to extend their advantage here for their team.
Yeah, and now we'll have to see where plays might start coming in. Indelible 6 has the Curse of the Sad Mummy. Level 6s or higher for all members on the map, but no kill so far. Going to TDS Academy here, you need the items, you need the scaling. Victor does so well as they start getting those augments and those upgrades, the glorious evolutions for Victor are so key to providing that damage. And without getting those 100 CS, getting the kills or assists, it's such a delayed spike, and now he might be dead.
Yeah, that is a masterful CC chain right there. Just a free pickup onto Bulldog from What the Fatch. Very well played. Indelible wants to look for the bot lane, but it is going to be warded out. Will they get the chase? The flash is expended, but an excellent binding is going to prevent any play from being possible. And now it's the mid lane tower looking to go down already here at 12 minutes. All plates going to be falling here as the Rift Herald is expended.
The Rift Herald is spent, the bot flash down, but 12 minutes in, like you said, the mid tower down. Bulldog died with his flash up because of that masterful CC chain that you had pointed out. Now Bulldog forced to hold this wave under tower. Now what the Fatch is open to a roam window and might be looking top.
Yeah, looking at Izumi once again, the Ragnarok is available, is going
Oh,
to be burned here, but Flash followed by the Yasuo committing under tower, getting the dive, and now Final Spark on the bot lane once again picking up Blazeheart. We do see Raven trying to trade back onto Charlie the Mauler, but Charlie is not going to be mauling after that play. Is going to be very happy, in fact, with the way that it turns out. The dragon is spawning soon. This wave is going to go in. All things going the way this bot lane would like it to go.
yeah, this support gap is way too big. It is this player who is carrying these bot lanes, hitting the bindings, landing the final spark, getting the damage. The last word and the last laugh in this bot lane is going over to crit Clemson Purple. And look at that, already so much damage picked up. The Kraken Slayer now for Caitlyn and Varus isn't even close to their first item.
No, very far away from Mythic, and that's Kraken and Boots completed for the Caitlyn. So certainly going to be very, very fearsome in this bot lane. Does mean that you're missing out a bit of the mobility from the Gale Force. Might need that to dodge some Amumu things. But Azumo here really wanting to chase that onto Alexa, but is 2 levels down. Alexa going to find a great series of abilities there. It is the tower trading both sides back as the dragon goes over to Clemson.
And now, yeah, the dragon, now that's their first one of this match. Indelible 6 might want it. Does have Curse the Sad Mummy available. Gets knocked up and has to walk away. Linux lurking in the area and no vision on them. Indelible 6 has no idea that Linux has just taken over the jungle after that dragon was down. Raven Blazer got to be careful here. So does Indelible 6. Because with the mid lane tower down, so much pressure was able to get moved into TDS Academy's own jungle. A little bit of sapling knows that Linux at least was in the area here, but no play, but at least one kill on the map for Izumo, even though it did cost them their life.
Yeah, wave crashing looking potentially like a dive opportunity, but the Nature's Grasp not available at the moment, and Indelible is there to cover, so no play is going to be had.
No play had in that one. 3 players now bot, but the reset timers. Oh, they do opt to stay. Charlie the Maldron way too big, still staying in lane. Izumo not afraid to trade topside, but now Jack Show completed for Alexa play Yeet. And this is a level disadvantage for Izumo. I don't think you're going to be doing enough damage to get through this Orin anytime soon.
No, it was rather close in that earlier fight with Ornn getting the upper hand until the tower came and intervened, but that was a
Oh,
solid 6, 7 axes maybe going down consecutively. But Ornn wants it once again, is going to start aggressing onto Alexa, but it's going to back off after doing maybe around 15% of the health bar.
So what the Thatch was looking for something on the mid lane, I think, with Linux, and I don't know if you saw that, Potato, but Linux actually expended the flash. I don't think it showed on our screen there, but they were trying to get the catch onto Bulldog. But Bulldog just walked out of there, and Linux was not able to get in range after expending the flash. So Maokai now does not have flash for 5 minutes, and that's actually going to be a pretty big cooldown for these next Dragon timers, because that's one of your primary engage tools if you don't have Ornn at the fight.
Yeah, certainly that twisted advance can be the sources of a lot of catches, but speaking of catches, what the Thatch may be a little caught here, but so is Blazeheart as a headshot is going to go straight to Nami's face. What
Oh,
the Thatch trying to outplay this and does get the trade back onto Indelible, and now it's Alexa Play Yeet trying to support their mid laner now on the run, but Linux is here to continue the fight. Izumo taking very low after that burst combo, does have Ragnarok, a
oh my
lot of damage
gosh.
going onto Linux. The Olaf going off a little bit here. It is going to be Bulldog finding the kill onto Linux. Now Alexa going to be fighting Bulldog here. Chasing under the tower. Victor kiting for their life. Does manage to stay alive. The Ornn Unstoppable needs one more auto. Does not have the flash though. And that's going to be both sides probably disengaging on just a sliver of health.
But the double buffs for Bulldog, they are going to be getting some sustain from the red buff ticking. Now Luden's Echo about to spawn. If it hits Alexa Play Yeet, he might be playing Despacito. There's another kill going to Bulldog's pocket.
That is the Death Laser delivering death. No flash available to Bulldog, but no flash needed. The range was sufficient here and now gets a much needed time. Now 3-1, catching up most of the deficit that was originally in the lane against the Yasuo there.
Yeah, the deficit in the lane is starting to become back from for Bulldog, but across the map, clear advantage still in Clemson Purple's favor. Dragon going to be hitting the Rift in 1 minute and 15 seconds here. Both teams sitting at one Dragon apiece now. The Rift Herald already under the control of Clemson Purple, and they're going to be coming into this next Dragon fight at a major advantage still.
Yeah, and we will have to see if TDS decide to contest this Drake. It is just the second Drake and just a Cloud Drake. So if the fight is not favorable, they might take the chance to trade across the map instead. But it looks like the members are hovering in the area, wanting to look for a setup.
Yeah, all 5 members from TDS Academy now in the mid and bot side, but Zumo was down too early and is forced to move topside to catch a wave here. The flashes for 3 of the members on Clemson Purple are available. It's the jungler in top lane still without theirs, but across the map, looking at Bulldog. That's that main player who's immobile and does not have flash. If What the Thatch can land a knockup, look for a play, it might be his. Oh, there's Christmas had Mummy committed.
Yeah, Indelible wants it early. What the Thatch is going to flash, but a nice bandage toss is going to find the follow. Now Bulldog is knocked into the tower. Linux wants to find it. So much damage coming out from this Maokai. It is Bulldog going down as the top laners are going to start brawling as well. The Ragnarok expended. Ornn wants to call the Ornn Horn, but Ragnarok is still ongoing. Oh my, 1 HP left on the Olaf there as now the junglers are brawling in the river here. Linux chasing on to Indelible is trying to find it. Indelible running as fast as his Yordle legs can carry him. Now it's 2 people on critically low HP under the tower. The sapling going to interrupt the base here. The comet going down as well. And you imagine this must be a double kill coming out.
There's one already. Indelible sure to fall. Not at the dragon, but kills in their favor. Alexa Play Yeet. It's going to cost them their life, though.
Yeah, potentially a bit of an unnecessary tower dive there, as the sapling likely would have finished it out, but Ornn wants what Ornn wants, decides to dive the tower, does get the kill at least, and now with Dragon up, and all the members are going to be back on the map soon.
You're right about members being back on the map, and I thought the fight was going to be at the Dragon, but instead it was at the top side. It was top, mid, and jungle duking it out. Bot lane just holding it down there. Nothing happening, but Potato, this is a Flame Horizon at 20 minutes. Charlie the Mulder has now exceeded over 100 farm, more than Raven at the 20-minute mark. This is a bot gap if I've seen one.
It is just the power of Caitlyn Lux without jungle intervention. We mentioned support gap earlier, but it is also just a bit of a support champion selection gap. Nami simply missing the tools to be allowed to contest Caitlyn Lux in this manner. It is the dragon now going down for free, but you're right, the Caitlyn here so far ahead. It is nearing a 3,000 individual gold lead just on that one roll.
Yeah, now what the Fatch. Still playing aggressively. Raven, no gold, no damage, no ignite. Oh, it's gonna take him so low. One health, and now what the Fatch in 1v4.
Yeah, the CC chain is going to prevent the ultimate from coming down. It is a good pick onto what the Fatch, but Clemson is not idle, finding another pick onto the bot lane against Izumo.
And now the Rift Herald being dropped down in the bot lane. The Baron is up, and they do not care. This is going to crack the inner tower, and now onto the inhibitor in just a minute. All of a sudden, Bulldog has to channel the back and respond to this play. Indelible has the Curse of the Sad Mummy available.
Yeah, wave going out. The CC does hit onto Charlie the Marauder, expending the cleanse here, but it is only Amumu able to follow up there. The rest of the team simply not in range. Varus forced the flash from the Piltover Peacemaker there, charging up an arrow, but it does just such little damage onto way too big. Now look at Bulldog, flash engaged on under the tower. There is going to survive. Caitlyn Lux not finding enough resources left in their tank to find the finish there. A nice shutdown going over to TDS to try and keep them in the game a little longer. And a great flank from Izumo here, finding the shutdown onto Caitlyn. That's a lot of gold. Lux next in their sight. A 400 gold shutdown available as well. One more axe. Ragnarok expended. A great shutdown onto Raven. Much needed income. Followed, sourced from a bit of an overstay from Clemson there in the bot lane.
And Izumo no Okuni is the player to make plays happen across the map. This Olaf was the guy to be able to basically 1v9 last time we saw TDS Academy hit the Rift. In this game, that teleport angle at least picked up one kill, and now it looks like TDS Academy looking to move as a map and punish the late aggression and overstay from Alexa.
Yeah, they want to find Alexa here, but Ornn is fast enough, likely going to be able to retreat onto the tower. And looks like they will be out. But yeah, earlier, just a great setup play. Blazeheart and Indelible there, finding the CC chain onto the key member. An excellent teleport coming from Izumo. I'm very happy to see that. Even in such a dire game state, TDS is able to discover plays that are available to them.
Yep, and now the Baron on the map, and both teams gotta be having their eyes towards there, and they gotta be onto Charlie the Malder. This player on the reset picked up that BT, the Bloodthirster, completed in its entirety. Raven keeping up with items, but not so much in gold. This Caitlyn's gonna be hitting like a truck if they get the auto attacks onto any of these members from TDS Academy.
Yeah, the Caitlyn AD scaling so strong on the headshots and on the individual abilities. Twisted Advance is going to spell the end for Blazeheart. Indelible trying to walk forward, find the ultimate combo, just hit 3, but the rest of the team is far away. Raven now going down. Indelible cut down by the Yasuo as well. Linux is now chasing onto Izumo. The slow is there. The ace in the hole is there as well. CC immune is not going to mean anything as Linux picks up the kill as well. You've got to think that that means Baron.
Yeah, 4 members down for TDS Academy. Bulldog was not even in the area for the team fight. What the Thatch just splitting topside while 3 members go into the Baron. Caitlyn picks up the wave and goes to match. Bulldog now just trying to catch the wave here. There is going to be the Scuttle Crab to know that there's some vision, but with only Bulldog on the map, there is no shot at a steal here.
Yeah, none of the members even remotely close here. The final spark even coming in to secure just a bit of extra damage. Now it is going to be most members basing, looking for what might be a bit of a final push.
Yeah, the Baron is up, the Dragon a minute away. But these key items coming in, and we weren't even mentioning it before, but ornaments have now hit the Rift as well. It is Worm Fallen Sacrifice completed for Caitlyn now, and Leandri's Lament for Maokai in that inventory, as well as that unspoken parasite that Ornn has. With these upgrades, the stats are bigger, the crits deal more damage, and now this is going to be so much to deal with here. What the Fatch has the Infinity Edge for that extra crit damage. And all the extra statistics that you're getting from the ornaments just means so much more damage. But if they can get a catch out here, what the Fatch and Linux may be in a bad position.
Yeah, briefly the members looked slightly
Ooh.
hot. There's some nice CC going down, but that is the final spark just turning things around. Indelible melted, and Izumo also melted. Bulldog next in their sights. Another binding onto Raven here. This Lux does not miss, giving so much value to the team. Now Dragon is up, but they are likely not even interested, going to try and push for these towers with the Baron.
Yeah, Clemson Purple so far ahead, so far in the lead here in the gold, in the items. And it just feels like if there is any member from TDS on their screen, they can just run and fight at them. That was not the angle that TDS needed to approach from in the jungle. And we saw what happens. Way too big, landing a way too big final spark in that choke, and it was just such a terrible spot to fight in. It felt like that might have been the angle for TDS Academy to collapse with members, but the Ornhorn over the wall, Charlie the Mauler maybe caught out, but look at this damage.
Yeah, just absolutely shredding Azuma there. Nice flash on the bubble is going to mean that Olaf is going to go down, but with three other members chasing, Indelible even going to commit the flash there just to guarantee the kill, but the
Oh,
shutdown goes on to Blazeheart,
yeah.
tragically, and now the other members are looking for more. Lennox there with the Nature's Grasp way too big with a nice combo. Indelible almost
Look at that
going down,
CC.
investing the ultimate, but a great CC chain is going to mean that Lennox is going to be taken out, but two members are now pushing down on this top inhibitor trying to crack the base.
And Bulldog just not strong enough yet with their items to clear the waves and fight off the unrelenting power here coming onto the map. But ooh, here comes Raven in 1v1, but way too big, picks up the kill with a final spark.
Yeah, Lux says the ADC can just sit down here, tosses two abilities, and that is all that is required. Raven wanting to find a little bit more there, but just unable to.
And it felt like Raven was trying to get the gold, get the items, and get the team back into this game. The inhibitor has been cracked topside. The base is exposed. There's one dragon until Soul for Clemson Purple. The Baron now has fallen off, but the gold still in such a commanding advantage. Charlie the Mulder, 60% crit. You don't need any kind of attack speed here. Your just auto attacks are going to be three, four shotting all of these members from TDS Academy, and they can just be walking it into the base, cracking it. There looks like they're doing a little bit of a victory lap in their jungle to get all of the gold sapped up ahead of time now, and I expect this to be the final push.
Yeah, and I love this full AD build coming out of the Caitlyn. The scaling is just so good. When you're ahead, a trap means death, a net means death. A tilt over Peacemaker that's not inhibited by minions is just going to chunk so
Mhm.
incredibly hard. A few members trying to find something in the mid lane, but just the catch is not available. And now all five members of Clemson starting to push up, wanting to look for the base here. What the Fash trying to look for Azumo.
Yeah, and I think Azumo's not in the right spot either. There he goes.
Yeah, and there is the last breath, and the Yasuo damage is just here. The wind wall is going to block the bandage toss, and
Oh,
here is the Nature's Grasp. Everyone starting to get rooted up. Indelible is going to be the first in their sights, is going to go down. Linux still surviving. What the Fatch now getting ready to tower dive. Bulldog goes down. Raven going to go down as well. What the
oh
Fatch
my
taking two
gosh.
towers, but just does not care. Gets the quadra kill as the Nexus towers are going to fall, and that's going to be the end of our first game.
What the Fatch tanked two towers and got four kills and picked up one Nexus for Clemson Purple in this first game in the best of three. TDS Academy has shown signs of weakness, shows signs of being able to be taken down, and now it is a 1-0 lead for Clemson Purple.
Yeah, TDS Academy were the bullies in our previous week, but this game they were the bullied as Caitlyn Lux, the Yasuo in the mid lane, just finding some incredible early leads and unrelenting with their team play, with the catches that this Lux was able to find out, with the CC that this Maokai was able to look all over the map. And with the individual plays of What the Fatch, just finding champion kill after champion kill throughout the game, a really, really convincing first victory from the Clemson team.
Yeah, way to go, Clemson Esports, to pick up game number one win over TDS Academy. But this series is not over yet. We are going to get set and settled for draft for game number two. And in just a moment, we'll have to see what adaptations TDS can make to continue this dominant run that they've had so far, try to get a win back, and try to keep this series alive. We'll have to see in just a moment. It is game number 2 between TDS Academy and Clemson Purple. We are into the pick and ban, and TDS Academy wisely banning away the Caitlyn from Charlie the Malder after game number 1.
Yeah, and Clemson also denying the Maokai as a 1P option from TDS as well. I believe that is a champion we've seen them run before, so we'll have to see what comes out as their 1P priority. But I do love that Caitlyn has been taken off the table, and Lux going to be the support that is immediately picked
Mm.
up. Is going to give counterpick to Clemson, and Rel is going to be the answer. Now that's a champion I haven't seen in some
Oh,
time. Is Samira with the parry? Okay, we're gonna get some fire in the bot lane here.
they are coming out strong and swinging, Potato. Clemson got the motivation, they got the push from their side. Charlie the Malder way too big, taking it to TDS Academy in the bot lane in game 1, and now they're going all in the second game.
All in indeed. In game one, they said we will poke you out of lane. We will eliminate all your health bar. In game two, they said we will just flash on you and kill you. And we'll have to see if that comes to pass. Amumu, once again, going to be the jungler of choice for TDS here.
Yeah, Moom, I'm not surprised. I don't think Double Six played that poorly at all, but just with 3 losing lanes, it was sore to get anything going. There were a couple maybe missed bandage toss angles, but otherwise, when your team's that far behind, you're kind of just a dive bot, and there's no way for the team to follow up. Ezreal's going to be the marksman choice, so that's going to be some safety into Samira Rel. But that also means that Samira wall can block all of this skill shots coming from TDS Academy so far.
Yeah, that W is such a crucial ability to turn the tide of fights both in lane and out of lane. Ezreal Lux looking to play a bit more of a pokey style. Samirel certainly looking to force a little here. Volibear also on theme with that, trying to come into the enemy team.
The Volibear is such an aggressive choice as well. Not something typically we've seen a lot of in this season so far, but still has so much dive potential. This is going to be such an aggressive bot side that I'm seeing so far drafted from Clemson. They want to be playing aggressively into TDS Academy's bot lane. They saw the advantage they could get just in the CS department, and that Caitlyn from ahead just dominated through that game. And even giving Clemson that tanky top laner again, like the Ornn that we saw out of Alexa play Yeet in game number 1, they were still able to scale in so much impact in team fights. I expect to see a very, very similar draft for Clemson in the top side.
Yeah, and Samir also one of those champions that when ahead can just repeatedly dive the enemies. 1 CC spells death instantly. Volibear, I'm looking for him to come down, make some level 6 dive plays onto this bot lane. Ezreal Lux able to stay safe in most of laning phase, but not able to ward off dives that effectively.
Yeah, you're right. Especially on those level 6 timers again. And it felt like by level 6, TDS Academy was already in the hole a little bit. We'll have to see what this early game means for them here. They did draft a poke lane. But like you said, like if you commit resources and you play aggressively, Lux and Ezreal, they got some ability, right? You have the Arcane Shift, but that's one ability. And the amount of dive and CC provided, Clemson picking up the Syndra as well for what the Fatch. Like this is just point and click, dive and go and blow up the players on TDS Academy.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if Ezreal Lux plays this well, they can have some counterplay chances, and if Amumu comes around to support as well, a dive can be very punishing for Clemson. If the Samira Rao is not able to get ahead, it can make their team a lot more difficult to play around. And oh, is that an auction we're going to be seeing
It's
here?
being hovered. I would expect that to see Izumo piloting that champion. It is locked in. So we might be seeing an auction top lane or mid lane actually for Bulldog here. I would expect to see Mordekaiser going top into the blind pick top lane.
All right. I'm liking it. Yeah, Auction here, one of those champions that certainly can have a lot of impact onto the game. Has a lot of burst potential, a lot of mobility to play around, some great roaming options as well. Once you have his sights set on you, it can be rather difficult to escape. So we'll have to see how it is piloted in this game. And Darius going to be the answer to Mordekaiser.
Yeah, and Akshan Bull, like I guess it's gonna be Bulldog pulling this out. I just took a look at their op.gg, and the only auction game I see is from 1 month ago. Bulldog played it in a normal game, went 11, 5, and 12. Did get the ace, but lost. Um, so I'm going to be a little curious to see how this auction does in the mid lane into Syndra.
That is true. Well, maybe that one game was all the confidence that Bulldog needs to pull out this pick here. It certainly can be something that has a lot of impact here. Can get picks onto Syndra, can kite out these tanks quite well, can make a real difference in these team fights. So we'll see
Shall
how
I
that
turn in my badge and rifle as well?
Yeah, I guess the one game was all the confidence, but they did lose that game, Potato. So you might have confidence to get the ace at
team
least,
diff,
but
team diff.
yeah,
Looking at
team diff. However, they do need to win this game. TDS Academy is down 0-1 in this matchup, and it is a best of 3 here. So they do need to win to stay alive. Let's swap sides so my graphic is correct as well. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see because it is do or die now, and I guess it must be a matchup they like because they did pick it into Syndra. Last time in the mid lane matchup, it was Bulldog who got counter picked by What the Fatch on the Yasuo, so we'll have to see what they can do with the AD counter pick now mid.
Yeah, certainly. And I think I quite like this Darius 5P as well. Matches up quite well into the Mordekaiser. Does have 2 close range melee champions that will want to get into the thick of things to start farming stacks off of. And can be very, very potent into these 3 squishy carries that
Yeah.
TDS is bringing out here.
Into the thick of it, you know? We're go was it trekking through the woods? On and on we march into the thick of it. And we don't know where we're going. So we'll have to see if Clemson Purple knows where they're going here in this match.
We will, we will. Welcome to Musical Hour with Llama here. We're happy to bring you entertainment any night of the week. Catch him at a theater near you. But yeah, the last of the picks getting locked in here as the draft is finishing up. TDS wanting to turn this round, even up the series score to have a chance at pulling out a game 3.
Yeah, Clemson Purple did take the win on the last game, and the new prediction is about to go live as well. The last champions are just hitting the rift, or not hitting the rift, they're hitting the lock-in screen, and we're going to be hitting the rift in just a moment. That's what I get for multitasking here, and I'm going to be getting this prediction live between TDS Academy and Clemson Purple. Who's going to win game number 2? Will Clemson Purple take the 2-0 victory, or will TDS Academy force us to a game number 3? One in game. It is game number 2 this evening of TDS Academy versus Clemson, the Tigers, their purple squad. We are swapping sides for game number 2, and players are ready to rumble here on Style Esports on this awesome Friday evening. And we will have to see if TDS is going to make this a 3-game series.
Yeah, and with the champion picks coming out in this game, I am expecting to see some rumbly indeed, particularly around these top and bottom lanes, looking to play quite aggressively with the picks they've selected.
There are some aggressive picks, especially for Clemson Purple here. Notably, that's Samira Rell. They game 1 drafted one of the best long-range poke lanes in the game, and this game it's almost a 180 potato. Like this is known as like you go in and you need to kill them, or you might not make it out alive.
Yeah, certainly stylistically very different, a very all-in composition selected here as we see both junglers actually going to be starting top side this time, trying to path down into the bot lane. Samira Rel maybe hiding in the bushes, trying to find some kind of level 1 play into this Ezreal Lux.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can be successful on this early engage. Way too big, but it's so committal. Like if you miss it, there's nothing there. But way too big. We know that they've been spot on with their engagers after seeing them perform in game number 1. We'll have to see if this Rel will be able to be the same situation and take it to Raven and Blazeheart again in the bot lane.
Yeah, and the supports are so crucial here in this bot lane matchup. Lux needs to land the poke so that any engage is going to fail due to a simple HP difference. Has to be cognizant and ready to flash the flash engages
Oh,
from
but level
whenever
2.
it comes out. Here's the level 2. The W crash is not going to hit. No summoners committed. Charlie the Mulder wanting some action, getting very, very low, taking both Ezreal and Lux's damage there. So a very nice early trade coming out here for the Ezreal Lux as the first engage doesn't find success. Nice stun though coming from Bulldog in the mid lane.
What the Thatch already finding the better of Bulldog so far in this trade, but here's the trade back, the aggressive shift forward.
Yeah, a nice spiny, and the shift is not going to be re-engaged on by the Rel there. So Ezreal Lux finding some early success, definitely a different look than we saw in the previous game.
Yeah, and a little bit of a different look, and so far I can't say I'm preferring it yet. It is going to be a Mumu getting here first, and now Charlie's in trouble.
Yeah, Charlie the Mulder
Land a
having
second
to
Q.
burn both summoner spells there off of a very accurate bandage toss. Amumu skipping a camp to get to the bot lane action faster, punishing the positioning there. So right now it is Raven and Blazeheart set up for success in this lane.
And Linux has also been moving down here, but has opted for a full clear for themselves. Indelible 6 now does have to go back and clear those camps. Like you said, they skipped them the first time. The ward is going to be matched down the bot lane to try to hide this out or see if they can find Linux in the play. Bot scuttle secured and Indelible back once again, but this time going to be spotted out.
Yeah, Indelible here is ready to cover the play. Linux is not going to opt for the bot lane gank there. It's very good for this Ezreal Lux that no play was to be found. The wave was pushing in there. There was enough damage available to one-shot either of these two champions should the CC chain start, but it's not going to be found here. Nice bind again going on to the Rel. The Samira Rel getting quite bullied out here early on.
It is an early on bully, and Linux now, speaking about bullying, is also is going to be bullying Indelible 6 just a little bit. In game number 1, it was Indelible on the Amumu who got both the Scuttle Crabs, but Indelible got both the bot summoner spells instead early on, and that does mean that Linux got the tempo on this second Scuttle. Both Scuttles, as well as taking their second Raptors camp that they actually started on, is going to give them the top lane play as well. Izumo.
Yeah, the pull already expended here, so Azumo is forced to flash away. A nice summoner spell gained here for the top laner, relieving some of the pressure on the Darius. And on the bottom side, also Rao caught by another bind there, so having to burn both the flash and the ignite here. Bot lane now out of summoners for the Clemson team.
Yeah, and only the ignite or the exhaust use from Blazeheart. Raven still with both summoners on Ezreal, Flash, Heal, as well as Flash for Blazeheart. I need to see this indelible 6 Amumu playing into this bot side now. Charlie the Mulder, after that original gank, how to use their summoners and way too big on a missed engage and not having damage force their summoners as well. So now we're sitting on 2.5 minutes on the Flash, just over a minute on Cleanse, the Dragon on the Rift, and Spawned here. Looks like it is going to be Indelible getting the first back off, and Linux, after ganking top, ran right down here and might be starting up the Dragon right away.
Yeah, looking to start the dragon,
Oh,
but their bot lane
Indelible
has not had a chance to reset. But yeah, now a Mumu looking for
across
this
the
mid
map.
lane play here. Syndra forced to flash away preemptively. Linux waiting in the bush for the ambush. There is the CZ combo going out. Indelible now forced to flash away, but a very nice stun from what the Thatch is going to drop Indelible, picking up that kill. But also in the top lane, we had Mordekaiser and Darius dueling. Mordekaiser getting the better of Darius there in the Death Realm and picking up first blood for himself. So a nice top lane advantage coming into this second game.
Yeah, across the map, kills are traded back, but Izumo getting the better of Alexa play topside. Blazeheart now moved, and Bulldog might be looking for it. There's the
A
binding.
great binding is going to land their Bulldog, picking up a nice chunk of 400 gold, taking down what the Thatch. It is Dragon started by Clemson. No answer to be found here early on, so a free pickup on this early Cloud.
Yeah, the only pickup as a response was the mid lane kill. What the Thatch going down without the flash, using teleport to get back to the lane. But that first treasure hunter, Bulldog has cashed it in by taking down What the Thatch, and that's going to give them their own Noon Quiver here in this mid lane. But it is matched. 1,300 gold also spent from What the Thatch on the last chapter. So we'll have to see how this auction matchup now with the red buff as well might be able to punish this again. An Indelible 6 is looking for something again.
That he is trying to path his way to mid lane, but there are a lot of minions blocking in the way. The bandage toss not going to be available, just too many obstacles there. And I do like the roam play because we did see Bulldog early on kind of getting bullied out by the Syndra. A lot of the spells laning, so that 400 gold certainly going to be of assistance here in this matchup.
It is going to be supporting some of that. And now the second rotation from both junglers is up. The Dragon down and Herald about to hit the Rift in just the next couple of seconds here. Alexa play Yeet with no Ghost but Flash available. Izumo playing the map on their side here. We'll have to see if this mid jungle look for something topside. Auction is invisible, and Linux won't know that until right now. Can Indelible look for something to engage? No, it is just going to be Bulldog backing away, but they do lose the wave mid during this play.
Yeah, the sweeper is going to find the spot there, so no fight will be had. Now a first plate going down, and Rel looking for another engage, does get the stun, but not the knock up. So it is going to be Ignite expended, but Charlie the Mulder here now hitting level 6, going in, burning the cleanse. They're way too big. Again, looking onto Blazeheart here. Blazeheart getting very low, but with an excellent binding, it's going to keep them alive. But top lane, another brawl going down. Alexa play Yi going to expend the ultimate very, very early, trying to flash away from the Death Realm here, but Izumo has the pull, has the accuracy, gets the mace to slam down and take down the Darius again for a second time.
Yeah, it looks like it's a Mordekaiser who is dunking this Alexa play Yeet Darius player. You might be dunk master, but the dunk veteran is this Mordekaiser. Those back-to-back Death Realms have resulted in back-to-back solo kills. My fantasy points are looking great having a Zumo on that squad.
Yeah, those solo kills are a big boon, and should Mordekaiser get further ahead here, this top lane is quickly going to become unplayable. Now helping with this Rift Herald take, Indelible certainly going to be happy with that one. A CS advantage, a kill advantage, this top lane is looking very, very good for the TDS squad.
And the Herald as well now being claimed. It is a very different look from this TDS squad in game number 2. Indelible 6 has not picked up any kills, but has been able to secure the Herald. And it feels like there is still some advantages across the board in these lanes for Clemson Purple, even if it's not in the top lane. What the Fatch by a mile out CSing Bulldog in the mid lane matchup. And this was a counter matchup, remember, that Bulldog got to pick. And in the bot lane, it's not the advantage we saw last time, but Charlie the Malder still holding on to a CS lead as well.
Yeah, the Clemson players doing very well in the farm department here. Even this Samira route, despite their failed engages, despite getting poked out significantly early on, does still have the CS advantage. Now, Indelible is going to walk straight into Linux here. A stun from What the Fatch is going to follow in. There's the Syndra
Oh
ulti, and the Volley
my.
Bear dive is going to take down Indelible. Now, Bulldog wants to find the trade back. Linux getting very low, and the Ezreal
Ooh.
ulti. Raven has the angles, is going to find it. Now, Lux wanting to look for more as well. The binding just barely going to miss. Does mean that What the Fatch is going to get out there. Another final spark coming through, not quite going to find it. There's not enough finishing power from TDS, but a great turnaround play into the jungle.
What the Fatch showing some side steps in the mid lane, dodging out from the damage. It was not enough from Raven to be able to get the lethal they needed, even committing the ultimate there to try to pick one up. But it was Raven's ultimate that landed, and now way too big looking for an engage.
Yeah, Blazeheart getting caught there in the rotation. Charlie the Martyr wanting to look, but doesn't have enough follow-up to actually find the rest of the kill. Indelible once again going to run into both Linux and What the Fatch. Vantage Toss going to miss. This time Shirley is going to go down. Does not have the support of the team the second time. What the Fatch now 3-1 on the Syndra, finding some excellent follow-ups to their team's plays.
And on the other end, Indelible 6, the same scoreline, but just add a zero potato, 0-3-1 on this Amumu. Back-to-back deaths for Indelible 6 in the jungle matchup. And it felt like Linux and What the Fatch have just been able to capitalize so hard on this immobile Yordle in the jungle. Azumo, though, they get the Death Realm and they're looking for another solo kill. This is going to be their third of the game.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it, but Alexa does stall for just long enough, one auto away from going down, but this third Death Realm is not going to be a third kill, as now the TDS members trying to collapse onto this bot lane, Charlie the Malder and a way too big getting out in a timely manner, going to survive and get the second Drake of the map now. The gold lead almost completely even across both teams.
Yeah, but two dragons critically in the favor of Clemson Purple. They got the cloud, they got the ocean, and now it is a Chemtech going to be the soul in the second game. While the dragon is dead, the focus moves top. We see Syndra and Volibear hoping to get Izumo. No ult, no flash, and no hope. Can they escape out of here? But there's the ultimate. And Unleashed Power shows that even Izumo has no, I don't know what he's got. No health, I know that.
That can be taken down to 0.
Yeah, yeah. He has zero health, I guess.
Sidra missing the stun there, but the raw damage is sufficient to find the kill with the ultimate. Now Charlie the Mulder doing some footwork against this Lux Ezreal lane. The exhaust is going to be burned. The cleanse early, but still gets a CC reduction. But there's a Rao with the turnaround play onto Raven. Charlie the Martyr going down to 1 HP, but does live with the lifesteal of the ulti, and now is Indelible 6 getting engaged on once again in the mid lane. Once again going down to this Volley Bear Syndra combo. This is starting to look all too familiar, as this poor Amumu is just chained to death time and time again. This Mirror W just barely blocking out that Lux E, going to keep Charlie alive here, and here comes the dive. Bulldog burning the flash, but What the Fatch is there with the stun, just does not miss, taking another kill. Now the Syndra 5-1, mighty powerful at this point in the game.
What the Fatch taking matters into their own hands here. See if that... Oh, the ultimate is not going to land. And that all started from the bot lane play. Raven going too aggressively and giving way too big a kill. But in the mid lane, as you said, Mummy fell. Akshan down. Bulldog took their first death of the game, but it was Amumu's fourth. The only winning lane I'm seeing right now for TDS Academy is going to be on this Mordekaiser. They have at least a completed item and trading successfully into Alexa Play Yeet. But Delible here at least knows the carrying lane here. Let's see if they can land it.
Yeah, an early flash burn is going to be followed by the ulti. The CC chain is good. The death realm is available but not used, perhaps just out of range there. So it is going to be Darius surviving for a little bit longer in this top lane. The advantage is there, but the advantage elsewhere on the map is
Oh,
stronger. There's another Syndra stun off of a great vision ward there. Bulldog
yeah.
going to go down against Syndra, unstoppable.
Unstoppable and Unleashed had that ultimate available and did not even need it. Just the raw damage from those basic abilities handed Bulldog another death, and they got to get some kind of magic penetrate or magic resist or something. Linux back in the bot lane doesn't have ultimate available, but they're still going to dive.
Yeah, Blazeheart with a great flash is going to stay alive now. Way Too Big is going to be the target, but look at this mid lane play. Syndra unrelenting. Amumu just wants to cross, but does not find the crossing. Is going to cross into a realm of death
Oh,
instead. Ezreal looking for the flash finish,
uh,
doesn't find it, and now it's going to be all Charlie the Mulder running down this ADC. Way Too Big actually gets it with the stun. Linux now looking to dive onto Blazeheart, does find it, flashes out to safety as well. Alexa Play Yeet once again getting burned down in the death realm, so at least there is some compensation here in the top lane, but the mid jungle duo from Clemson here just too powerful.
I'm sure Azuma wishes that they were in Brazil right now instead of on the Rift because TDS Academy's players across the map just keep on falling. Felt like once again in the bottom lane, Linux doesn't even need that ultimate available. The storm was not brought, but the kills definitely were. The rain came and the thunder was there, and they clapped all of TDS Academy.
Yeah, and look at this Syndra now. The Luden's finished and the Death Cap finished as well. 10 stacks on this Dark Seal, 10 CS a minute, a 1000 gold shutdown. This is a terrifying Syndra. If you're any champion on the side of TDS here, it's going to be one stun combo into instant death.
Yeah, and the stun combo not only from Syndra but from Volibear as well. This is a point and click stun champion. I don't even know what TDS is doing in the area now.
Maybe
They're
they're
trying to
trying to
fight, but
find a
Linux
catch
has
on the Way Too
Stormbringer.
Big. A nice ultimate to start things off, but Charlie the Mulder has the cleanse. Way Too Big getting very low, but Indelible getting lower. Linux there is in the action. Lethal Tingle
Oh!
stacked up. There's Sidra on the backside. Lux
Oh!
absolutely evaporates. Ezreal evaporates too. What is that damage? A double kill for what the Fatch? Sending everyone back to the base, back to the gray screen, and probably to the end of the series with the way that this is going.
Yeah, she might be wielding some volleyballs, but they are looking like cannonballs as they hit the rift. Just one member after the other. Blazeheart went from 100 to 0 in the blink of an eye. Just got spiked from Syndra there, taking another 2 kills, keeping that legendary status, and keeping the reverse sweep a complete figment of TDS Academy's imagination.
Yeah, a single basic ability there doing 40% of Ezreal's HP. That is nearing on unplayable for the TDS team here. Now, Rift Herald's certainly going to be free, you imagine. There is a contest that wants to be had here. The Amumu ulti is not available, so how can they fight this? Way Too Big getting the engage there once again with the Fatch Legendary, melting the Lux, ulting Azumi, Indelible now. That's a triple kill for the Syndra. Bulldog and Raven running for their lives. Way Too Big wants to find it. Linux wants to find it. Charging, running down. It's a scary bear. Bulldog is running for their life. Look at that Syndra damage. Charlie the Mulder having the time of their life down in the bot lane, being chillin' against the wave and the turret there, while Syndra is solo carrying this game. Now Linux trying to dive in between these towers. The Rift Herald is going to get the charge once and twice here.
Wow, these Herald Chargers are going down. It feels like TDS Academy is starting to give up hope a little bit. There's the engage.
And there's the big Rel engage. Way Too Big, finding it onto the members. Indelible walking forward and going down in the blink of an eye. Blink and you'll miss it. Azumi finding a pick with the Death Realm. At least Bulldog very, very nearly getting way too big is going to go to Azumi, but now it is the Darius raining down. But no, a clutch snipe from Auction is going to finish it down, and finally what the Thatch is going to fall. A triple kill over to Izumo no Okuni, getting some much needed gold back into the pockets of their team, but it's still a 6,000 gold lead. The base starting to crack. A tough game state at 20 minutes.
It is a tough mountain to climb, Potato. You are correct. At least some kills are coming back into their hands. They did get 1,000 gold off of what the Thatch and some shutdowns across the rest of the map. The Baron is spawned, and this might be the angle that only TDS has to try to make something happen. Death timers are already back up. Teleport available from what the Thatch. This is still going to be a hard play, but 4,000 health. Can they do it?
Yeah, it's a desperation play here. They're rushing it down as fast as they can. It is down to 1k, so the objective bounty will be claimed. A fast Baron, a nice take here off of the death timers and the overstay, but the chase is on. Can they escape successfully with their life? A single Syndra W doing half of Ezreal's life, but it doesn't matter. Indelible finds the bandage toss and the ultimate to find the biggest pick, but now it's Linux. They're in the thick of the action, chasing down Blazeheart. Blazeheart flashes to survive, and it's going to be Linux surviving against the Auction there. So Bulldog does not find the pick, and the rest of the members of Clemson are there for the cleanup. Darius finds the end there of the ace. Baron is wiped off the map. Clemson wins the team fight and is charging towards the base.
The Baron was up, and then it was down, and then it was gone just like that. This might be the final push. The inhibitor's down. It's only 21 minutes in. Potato, they're going to try to hold once again, but I don't know if they're going to make it. Clemson University, where the Blue Ridge yawns its greatness, where the Tigers play. Here the sons of dear old Clemson reign supreme always. Another couple of kills, and they'll be looking to finish the game right here.
They are looking to finish the game. Raven going down to Charlie the Martyr here, but the reinforcements are arriving. Can Bulldog finish this off? Gets one, gets two. It's going to be Alexa going down and Linux going down as well. Charlie the Martyr trying to make a 1v3 play, but does get taken into Brazil. Izumo no Okubi going to start beating down onto this ADC. Does find it with the Lux taking the shutdown. TDS is going to breathe for another day here. Not quite out of it just yet, but the base is wide open.
The base is open. I thought that was the game, but the Tigers have thrown it right there. Looks like Clemson still sets in such a commanding lead, but did not quite have the long enough death timers to take the win. But this game is anything but over for Clemson. It feels like they are just inches away from claiming the Nexus and claiming the series.
Feels like inches away, but actually the gold lead here just around 5,000, so not completely insurmountable. A great combo there onto What the Thatch, burning the stopwatch as well. And we saw in some of these prior team fights, when What the Thatch ended up getting caught out, it was a lot of their gold advantage. Unfortunately, around the Baron there, it did mean the rest of the team was too disjointed, so Linux was able to run unchecked through the bot lane there, picking up the lethal tempo and the Nashor's Tooth, so much damage going to be coming from this Volley Bear. Should he be able to access these backliners, it is now going to be Soul going down and claimed for Clemson.
This is their soul. That Chem Tech soul is so strong for this team. Alexa might try to turn the 1v2. Two marksmans here, uses the Ghost.
Yeah, the Ghost is down. Bulldog and Raven cornering the Darius here. Does not hit the ability. Some expert kiting from these two marksmen does put Bulldog now on a killing spree within 3,000 gold of their lane opponent. Now Darius going down, the rest of the members not yet pressuring onto the base. There is still some breathing room for TDS.
Yeah, the breathing room is getting cut short moment by moment. Viper in trouble.
Yeah, Raven definitely in trouble here. Look at this volley there. Beat down, slap, 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 and way too big. Gets the stun to finish out Bulldog.
Oh,
Nicely dodging the route engage there, but the swing away is going to
oh
get
my
interrupted. Way too
gosh.
big. Tanks the tower shots. Does not care. That is both marksmen down. It is 5 on the map for Clemson, only 3 on the map now for TDS. Clemson are going to be looking for these top towers to go down. Only a Lux heading over to try and hold this wave.
And that was also a volley bear with 2.1 attack speed. This lethal tempo volley bear just smacking down all of these players on TDS Academy. Have the Nashor's Tooth, they have the lethal tempo. They're just destroying the inner towers, getting all the standing gold. And as they go lower in health, the damage only goes up, having this Chemtech Soul in their pockets as well.
Yeah, looking like a WWE beatdown there on the top lane against the poor Ezreal trying to escape, but unable to do so. Now they're trying to hold once again to the waves. A few members of Clemson taking their bases here, so the push is not quite yet coming in earnest, but they are prepping to try for the end here.
Yeah, the base is getting smaller and smaller for TDS Academy. All 9 towers have fallen, all 6 on the outside, the Nexus towers and the mid lane inhibitor tower. With that inhibitor down, I mean, it is still an open Nexus. I am kind of surprised that Clemson Purple have not just played for the end here, but playing it safe, playing it reserved, and playing it correctly at this point. But I mean, this Syndra's not going to be getting too much stronger.
Yeah, on 3.5 items now, trying to aim for the Shadow Flame 4th item here. The back timings for Crimson not quite yet synced enough to put together a cohesive push to try and end things out. They are going to be eyeing the bot lane instead. Darius is going to be on the top side of the map here, so it is just a 4-man push. No teleport available. The members of TDS not quite together to answer yet either. Ezreal very, very far into the mid lane alone. Is that going to be the punish? Where is the stun from What the Fatch? There is a shift buffer, but you've got to imagine the catch is going to come in soon after. But no, he does manage to survive for just a little bit longer here. Now Linux trying to walk away from Azuma, who's very strong here, but the flash apprehend here going to catch on to Ezreal. Darius is on the chase. Ghost available soon. Deadman's Plate starting to chase, but the rest of the members are here to support. A bandage toss is going to provide the disengage there. Ezreal survives to see another day. The hold continues. There is not yet the finishing push. Once again, the members of Clemson have been repelled. But here comes Linux. No, it doesn't quite get it.
It's under
the
tower.
dive is there. Yup, the tower is there. The passive from Auction is there. The tower is disabled. And Linux, once again, just gets the slaps from the bear.
And remember, this is an open Nexus.
Auction. It is an open Nexus, but it is the Baron in the sights of Clemson briefly before they are dissuaded from it. Linux so scary here. Ezreal not willing to shift in.
What?
Very terrified of the bear, but there it is. Does get the shutdown onto Linux, finally falling there. So it is a 4v4 back on the map. Auction coming back up in 20 seconds. The members of Clemson now starting to aggregate around the mid lane.
Ooh, and the ultimates are coming back up as well, but a massive 3-man stun from What the Fatch.
But a pull in from Azumo is going to match it. The flash to try and follow the Q does not hit. What the Fatch now in the death realm trying to survive is going to burn Zonias to stall out for a bit longer. The Mumu ulti is there, is going to find the takedown. Lux going down in a trade, and now it is Charlie trying to stack up for the ultimate. Charlie in the Mulder does get the ulti, but the Mordekaiser so big, almost gets the trade, but does not die. Ezreal getting the shutdown here. It is Clemson getting wiped off the map. TDS with a team fight victory off of the catch, the crucial pick onto the Syndra, and this Mordekai's refusing to go down, refusing to give up the series.
Even after 11 deaths on a Mumu, Izumo no Okuni keeping the team alive. But crucially, because that mummy is dead, the smite is not here. Linux with flash, no ultimate, but has a blast cone. They might be looking to steal this because there's no smite for TDS Academy.
Want to, but the shift is to the side instead of into the pit, and that leaves Ezreal vulnerable. Does finally get a second shift, but look at how low Azumo is. is not going to get the smite, and now it's going to be Linux, and this 1v3 is going to start taking down everyone.
Two.
Azuko falls, Raven falls, Bulldog is getting chased down as well. The ultimate means nothing. The slap is there. The triple kill for Volibear, now chasing on the Blazeheart, forced the flash over the wall, saves the game right there. Baron not going to be available, and now with everyone back on the map, this is looking like the end of the game.
Yeah, all members coming back alive, and Linux, the hero with the Baron steal and the bear slaps, smacking down Indelible 6 for the 12th time in this 30-minute game. The Nexus is open, and so is the hearts of Clemson here. Here, the son of dear old Clemson reigns supreme all way. They are on to the Nexus and taking the 2-0 victory.
Yeah, and Lennox with what is effectively a 1v5 pentakill there, maybe a 1.5v5 with the help of the Baron, is going to end the game there. The absolute beat down on the members of TDS, closing out the game, taking down this open Nexus, and dashing the hopes for a 3-game series.
I think you're gonna say dashing through the snow there, because it did feel like they were on a one-horse open sleigh, but in that case, it was a one-bear Nasher steel sleigh. I mean, the 1v5, the steel there as well. I mean, it was an amazing performance from Linux in that game. I said we haven't seen too much of this Volibear, but it really delivered here in this second match.
Deliver it did. Syndra providing the early game to mid-game power that Clemson needed, and Linux finding the close onto the game. There were some moments of hope for TDS. They're finding some crucial catches onto Syndra, but ultimately the bear came through to close out the series.
Yeah, an amazing reign of dominance from Clemson University Purple here. They took the series 2-0 off the backs of some incredible performances here. Charlie the Mulder, way too big. Big credit to that bot lane as well. Playing different styles, showing what they can do on the Rift, on the Caitlyn Lux, and in this game, the Samira and Rel. Both of these games very strong, holding their own here, and it was a Clemson dub from start to finish.
Yeah, not quite the complete domination from the bot lane that we saw in game one, but still
Oh,
very much holding their own and contributing to this game in a meaningful way. Every member of this team playing together to find out the close, from those excellent mid jungle catches repeatedly onto Indelible in the early game, to Volibear isolating these crucial targets in these late game team fights, making sure that the marksmen of TDS just simply don't get to play the game.
yeah, they don't get to play the game, but we had a fun time watching it, Potato. It was another series from TDS Academy, and the first time we watched this Clemson esports squad perform, but perform they did, taking us to a 2-0 series victory this evening on Style Esports.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I hope you had as good a time as we did watching this series.
It was another amazing series here on Style Esports, week 4 of season 14 for Style, season 13.1B for League of Legends, and we are just right around the corner here in a couple of days for the next Style match that you will not want to miss. Thank you for spending your Friday evening with myself and with All Out Potato, and we'll have to see you all in the next one.
Take care.